What if I told you the biggest casino heist in history didn't involve guns, masks, or malware? Just a sequence of button presses. Kane and Andre Nestor found a flaw in the Game King poker machines that let them multiply their winnings legally. The twist? They weren't breaking any rules, just playing the game exactly as it was programmed. So why did the FBI come knocking? Kane played the Game King poker machine like it was his job, because in a way it was. After losing $1 million at the Silverton Casino, he began noticing something strange in the machine's rhythm. When he exited and re-entered games under specific conditions, small wins bloomed into bigger payouts. Most would dismiss it as luck, but Kane recorded every move, analyzing the pattern like a mathematician cracking a cipher. He brought in Andre Nestor, who saw the potential immediately. Together, they transformed casino floors into laboratories, meticulously documenting button sequences that triggered the glitch. Hidden in the code was an old programming oversight left behind when IGT updated Game King's software in 2002. The flaw made bonuses stack in ways they weren't supposed to, turning a $100 win into $5,000 if you knew how to nudge the machine just right. Casinos trust Game Kings for their reliability, which made the glitch harder to spot. Data screens showed normal operations while payouts quietly doubled or tripled. But security teams grew suspicious when jackpots started hitting in perfect pairs, an anomaly against the 1,000,000,000 to 1 odds of random chance. Surveillance footage showed Kane and Nestor pressing buttons methodically, no tools or tampering. The machines weren't rigged. They were responding exactly as programmed. Nevada's Gaming Control Board tore into the machines like a forensic team. They traced the flaw to an EPROM chip buried deep in the system, left dormant for years. It was less a bug than an abandoned rule, an old payout calculation that should have been erased but instead lingered, waiting for someone to find the right sequence. By then, Kane and Nestor had escalated their strategy. What began as cautious tests became targeted strikes. Identify a machine, trigger the glitch, cash out before drawing attention. The casinos replaced units, adjusted software, yet the payouts continued. Because here's the thing about a glitch. It isn't cheating if the system itself enables it. But when machine logs showed the same players collecting jackpots across multiple states, prosecutors saw a crime. The question was, what law did they break? The answer would come down to a courtroom where the defense had one simple argument. They pressed buttons. The machine responded. So where exactly was the fraud? Kane and Nestor didn't stay in Vegas. They took their discovery on the road, hitting casinos from Atlantic City to the California coast. Their strategy was simple. Test a machine, confirm the glitch worked, then collect jackpots in amounts just under reporting thresholds. At each location, they'd rotate seat positions, change their clothes, even adjust their playing hours. Anything to avoid forming predictable patterns. The IRS became their unexpected adversary during a stop at the Silverton Casino. When Kane triggered multiple hand-paid jackpots in succession, the casino staff had no choice but to file the mandatory W-2G forms. These documents created a paper trail that gaming regulators couldn't ignore. Across state lines, casino surveillance teams began noticing the same anomaly. Certain players would access machines, execute precise sequences, then walk away with unexpected windfalls. The wins weren't suspicious on their own, but their frequency defied probability. Security teams compiled footage showing the same 2 men appearing at machines minutes before jackpots hit. The tapes revealed no tampering, just deliberate button presses followed by perfectly timed cash outs. When Nevada Gaming Control investigators seized $27,000 from Kane's pockets during his July 2009 arrest, they expected to find hacking tools. Instead, they found neatly bundled cash and detailed logs documenting every machine's response to specific inputs. Kane's notebooks read like lab reports, meticulously recording which casinos still ran the vulnerable software version. What frustrated investigators most was the legality of it all. No devices had been inserted into machines, no software overrides detected. The pair simply found a quirk in a multi-state casino system and exploited it methodically. Gaming boards issued warnings, but stripping their winnings required proving actual fraud, not just clever play. The jurisdictional patchwork worked in Kane and Nestor's favor. While Nevada regulators scrambled to coordinate with California and New Jersey counterparts, the two kept moving, always one step ahead of comprehensive detection. Their final mistake wasn't technical, it was financial. The IRS paperwork created an unbreakable audit trail linking their winnings across states. Yet even with this evidence, prosecutors faced a dilemma. How do you charge someone for crimes the casino's own machines invited them to commit? The answer would come not from a gaming board, but from a federal courtroom where laws written for computer hackers would be tested against men who exploited vulnerabilities no one thought to fix. The courtroom doors swing open in Las Vegas, October 2012. Federal prosecutors level charges under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, demanding Kane and Nestor repay every dollar and face jail time. The argument hinges on one phrase: exceeding authorized access. Prosecutors claim the men hacked the machines by exploiting their programming, but the defense counters with a simple truth: their clients never touched the code. Kane's attorney leans into the jury box. Was it unauthorized when the machine paid out exactly as programmed? He asks. The legal team argues Game Kings don't qualify as protected computers under federal law. Slot machines exist to take bets and pay winners. What Kane and Nestor did fell squarely within those parameters. Even the FBI's plea deal can't force them to admit fault when the casino's own surveillance shows nothing but button presses. Critical testimony comes from gaming experts. They explain how the EPROM chip's flaw made payouts predictable if you knew the sequence. During cross-examination, prosecutors struggled to explain why pressing casino-approved buttons should constitute hacking. Nestor's now famous quote hangs in the air: "Who would not win as much as they could on a machine that says jackpot?" The judge's ruling lands like a hammer. Without evidence of tampering or code manipulation, the case collapses. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act requires proof someone broke into a system, but these machines invited players to interact freely. Technicalities become irrelevant when the defense proves the casino's own engineers missed the glitch during years of testing. Overnight, gaming regulations scramble to address this gray area. State commissions demand software audits, but the damage is done. Legal seminars now cite this case when discussing where gameplay ends and fraud begins. Slot manufacturers quietly patch old systems while publicly insisting their machines were never truly broken, just imperfect. Kane and Nestor walk away with their winnings intact. No fines, no probation. The precedent leaves casinos with an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the smartest plays happen not in defiance of the rules, but in the spaces between them. Their case forces gambling halls to confront an existential question: if players can outthink the system without breaking it, who really holds the advantage? The answer reshapes security protocols across every casino floor in America. Kane and Nestor walked away with over $1 million, their winnings intact and their case setting a legal precedent. Their victory forced casinos to confront vulnerabilities they never considered. Within months, gaming commissions mandated software audits across every major casino. The flaw had existed unnoticed for 7 years, hidden in code written for an outdated system. What began as a programming oversight became a blueprint for security reforms. Manufacturers rushed to patch similar vulnerabilities, but the damage was done. The house doesn't always win. Sometimes it just hasn't lost yet. So where do you draw the line? Smart play or exploitation? Let us know in the comments.